Hello, and welcome to the Spartan Sports Report. I'm Kelsey Woodall.
And I'm Dominic Carroll. Earlier today, our own Miriam Bingham hosted an interview with MSU women's soccer coach Jeff Hostler, fresh off a deep run in the Big Ten tournament.
Even though the Spartans fell short of a tournament championship, losing a tight one to Penn State 3-2, the Spartans had a spectacular season with a program record 16 wins this season. With sights set on a run in the NCAA tournament, let's send it to Miriam with Coach Hostler.
I'm Miriam Bingham, and today I'm sitting down with a very special guest. I'm here with head coach of the women's soccer team, Jeff Hostler. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I'm excited to be here and talk a little bit about our program.
Now, I want to congratulate you firstly on a record-breaking season. And it's definitely a season to remember, and this was by far an impact to the women's soccer program. And you guys were Big Ten regular season champions, and you made it all the way to the conference tournament championship. So what did it mean to you to advance to the finals of the Big Ten tournament?
Yeah, it's been an incredible year, an incredible experience. We just have a great group of really talented, hardworking women with a great staff, to help guide them along the way. And to do what we did in the regular seasons, I think pretty remarkable. That's our first Big Ten championship in school history for women's soccer. Just 2 short seasons ago, we had 1 win. So to be here and have this program move in this direction this quickly, and have the opportunity we just had this past week, to play at Lower.com Field in Columbus, beautiful MLS stadium, to play in a championship match against a quality opponent with Penn State. Really good experience for us that'll serve us well as we move into the next phase, which will be the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm. Now, this team had an unexpected season where they had to grow in positions that this soccer program has never been in. So how exactly did this team and this special group, as you always say, maintain chemistry throughout the whole thing?
Yeah, I think you used the right word. It's growth. No team goes through a season without adversity. No team has to make adjustments and grow through their experiences. And I think one of those things that we did a really good job of is taking confidence from each opportunity. That confidence comes from what you learn in your past experiences, and whether we had games that we made look easy or not, winning games is really hard. And some adversity has been different with personnel as we've progressed this season, because obviously you have injuries come up. COVID's still a thing and around, and you miss some players from time to time. And really, we've had a next player up mentality. Our group's been really good at staying focused and living in the moment, and that's allowed us to perform at a very high level.
Now, you talk about this group being so hardworking. So what exactly is the secret sauce to making this group so special, as you always say?
It's their commitment. They're so focused on their craft. Their schedules are incredible. When you talk about the time they have academically, what we put on their plate athletically, the toll it takes on your physically on your body. And this group is, they're resilient. They're, I don't know if I can tell you what the secret sauce is, other than I think the biggest challenge, all coaches are going to come in, they're going to talk to you about culture. And they're going to talk to you about living in the moment, but it's a lot easier to say that than to do it. And I think the most impressive thing about this team is when we, every time, Nick Whitley, our SID, we win a game, he's like, "Congrats, coach, first time you guys beat them in a decade," or "Congrats, coach, you haven't beat them on the road ever." And he tells us all these things, and our players read that and they're aware of it, but they just come back the next time. It's motivation to do even more, and that's kind of been our mantra: is having success. It leaves clues, and having success gives you an opportunity to do a little bit more, and they've really adopted that philosophy this year.
And obviously a very diverse team. You have some seniors and also some graduating seniors. So let's kind of talk about the recruiting process. And you're going to attract more players who want to play for you, of course. So how are you going to have more players on your team who are committed to playing for you?
Yeah, that's you talk about the age gap, especially now between redshirt players, 5th-year COVID players, maybe even 6th-year COVID players. We just had a member of our team 2 weeks ago celebrate her 18th birthday, and we have somebody turning 23 very shortly. So there's a wide range gap when it comes to the age. But specific to the recruiting piece, obviously success can breed more of it, and we're really excited about the class that we'll actually sign on Wednesday. That's National Signing Day for women's soccer. With 10 really strong players in that class. We're really excited about the start we've had with the 2024 class, and You know, our 2024s have had this message. Those are current juniors in high school that, you know, I really believe that they're going to win a championship, you know, win our first championship in their time here. And I've had to go back and apologize because we're ahead of schedule.
Now, how did it feel every single time, you know, you talk about Nick and the SID coming to you and saying, you just broke this record, you just broke this record. So how did you feel? And also some of the comments from your team and the young ladies.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty surreal, like, to know where we are now. I mean, even last year we had a really good year in our first year here in East Lansing as a staff. To have 10 wins, and last year it was like a lot of the markers we made were first in a decade in terms of wins, where we finished in the Big Ten, hosting a Big Ten tournament match. And obviously expectations grew, and you know, we're hitting higher watermarks this year. So I'm just thrilled for the group. You know, to see the joy in their faces when we have these accomplishments. It's important to celebrate those and live in it when it's happening. But they keep having this philosophy of wake up the next day and get back after it.
And finally, the Big Ten tournament is complete. If selected, of course, I mean, there was disappointment last year with not making it to the NCAA. So if you are selected, how are you and the team going to prepare for the NCAA tournament, especially a bigger national stage once again, and what needs to be done in order to finalize, to advance to the finals? Yeah,
so I mean, we're in a position. I mean, there are a lot of tears yesterday, you know, disappointment or frustration from not getting the result. Incredibly entertaining game, so much fight in our group. But at the same time of it, like, it shows their competitiveness, but it's also a different feeling because we know we're going to be in the NCAA tournament. It's just a matter of seeding now. And that wasn't the end of the line for us. I think last week's experience is going to serve us well for a group that's not accustomed to postseason play. To win our first postseason match in I don't know how long with that Minnesota quarterfinal, to then go on the road, play neutral site, be on the road 5 days, playing an incredible Nebraska opponent, another really good Penn State opponent in the final. I think that environment, that atmosphere is going to bode really well for us now as we move through the NCAA tournament.
Thanks to Coach Hostler for sitting down with us.
Earlier today, the Spartans were selected to the NCAA tournament. They received a 4 seed and they'll face Milwaukee in the first round of the tourney this Friday at D. Martin Field.
The Spartan women's basketball team opened their regular season earlier today at the Breslin Center. They look to start off their season strong against Delaware State. The Spartans opened their 50th season dancing, hoping to end their season the same way. Susie Merchant's squad was ready to tip off the year. Jumping in the second quarter, Spartans already up big. Stephanie Vischer drives inside, kicks it outside to Moira Joyner. She fakes out the defender, steps back and buries the 3, which puts the Spartans up 25-8. The senior was among the team leaders with 13 points. In the fourth quarter, Theron Halleck drives through contact to beat the shot clock. In the last minute of the game, Spartans with a comfortable lead, but Halleck takes no plays off. She chases down the Delaware State guard and swats away the shot. Halleck had a stellar opening to her freshman season. The kids in attendance enjoyed their day off of school as the Spartans won 86-37. The Spartans play again this Thursday against Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne in the Breslin Center. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. The MSU hockey team hosted Wisconsin for a 2-game series over the weekend. The Spartans won the first game in a 5-0 shutout and were looking for the sweep on Saturday. With more on the game, here's Elisa Luker.
Michigan State returned to Mundt Ice Arena to host the Wisconsin Badgers for a 2-game Big Ten home opener series. The first game was last night, and the Spartans were victorious with a 5-0 win. The Spartans continued to use the full length of the ice as they went into tonight's game. Michigan State found that secret sauce to cracking the Wisconsin goaltenders. With 26 shots on goal and 5 goals in Game 2, the Spartans continued to find the back of the net. The shining star, though, was Michigan State goaltender St. Cyr. His ability to move quickly in the crease has kept Michigan State in games that would otherwise be blowouts. St. Cyr had 44 saves in both games for a combined total of 88 saves, allowing only 1 goal in the second game. St. Cyr stood on his head and led MSU to a 5-1 win, which ended in the Spartans sweeping the Badgers. Michigan State will be back at home next Thursday to play Ohio State. From Mundt Ice Arena with Spartan Sports Report, I'm Elisa Luker.
Thanks, Elisa. The Spartans host a 2-game series against Ohio State this Thursday and Friday at Mount Ice Arena. It's the last of a 4-game homestand. Puck drops at 7 p.m.
Spartan football traveled down to Champaign to take on the Fighting Illini. Fresh off a loss to rival Michigan last week, the Spartans were hoping to right the ship and pick up a Big Ten win. Windy conditions were an issue for both teams, but the Spartans found a way to make enough plays to get the win 23-15. Peyton Thorne tossed 2 touchdowns in the blustery conditions. Jaden Reed caught one of those touchdowns and had 5 receptions in the game. MSU's defense held Illinois to 15 points, a low in the conference for the Spartans as they play this season. The Spartans come back home to face Rutgers this Saturday. Kickoff is at noon. And that's all we have for you today on this edition of the Spartan Sports Report. I'm Dominic Carroll.
And I'm Kelsey Woodall. Be sure to follow us on social media and catch all our previous episodes on our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.